Welcome back, everyone, to the NFT Nation podcast, the most relatable and reliable NFT and crypto podcast in the nation. And in today's episode, I will be interviewing NFT Arthur, who is known for all of his social media presence as well as his content all about NFTs and NFT trading, as well as giving information and teaching people how to purchase and sell NFTs. So without further ado, I would like to kind of give NFT Arthur the floor and kind of let him explain himself. So go right ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys? So, of course, I'm NFT Arthur. I'm very happy to be here in NFT Nation. Thank you for having me. So, I'm a NFT YouTuber and as well Instagram influencer, I would say, and as well NFT collectioner. So, I've been collecting NFT for quite a while now, over a year and a half now. And I love NFT. I love talking about it. I love teaching people about it. So if you guys have any question for me about NFT, do not hesitate to DM me or anything like this.
Yeah, awesome. I'm really happy to have you on today just because I think we are on the same wavelength, especially in the crypto space, that we both appreciate and want to teach people all about crypto and NFTs as well as kind of the whole Web3 universe. So you and I are kind of one and the same. So I'm excited to get into these questions.
Definitely, yeah, for sure. I for sure think like you and I are kind of the same on like we both want to like teach to people, and I think like with Web3, it's all about like being able to actually teach to people and informate people about like those new things coming, and like the more we do it, the more fast everyone gonna be able to be on board.
Exactly. It's like we are the ones building on the ground floor, teaching everyone to get into the space, so the space continues to get bigger. So I think for my first question today, obviously many people are wondering, you do have an accent. Where are you from exactly?
So I'm from France. I was born and raised in France, in south of France, nearby Marseille, a small city called Sanary-sur-Mer. And I was living there for my whole life. And then I moved to United States about like 8 years ago. So I know it's quite a while, but my accent is still there and still. I think it's not gonna leave, unfortunately.
It's all right. I think everyone can understand. Even though you do have an accent, you pronunciate everything perfectly. So I don't think there's a problem there. But it does make you kind of unique in the space because there's not a lot of people I have seen from France, and it's great to see that there's a wide diversity of people inside this space because it's really meant for everyone.
I know. So you know what? That's fun because, like, of course, like I have a very strong accent from France, and so everyone assume like, oh yeah, so you're from France, you live in France, and then I tell them, oh no, actually I live in Phoenix, Arizona, and everyone's like, what the fuck? Like, how did you end up in Phoenix, Arizona? Like one of the warmest states in the United States, and like every time I tell them, like my story. My wife is born and raised actually in the States, so that's why I end up here, and. No, I like it and I love it actually.
Yeah, it's great to have you in the beautiful U.S. We're always looking to have positive people, and it's great to see more and more people come in and bring positivity. But so before we get on into all the crypto and stuff, what do you do for a living? Obviously, NFTs is not your full-time job. What do you do outside of crypto?
So I'm a photographer and videographer, and so my wife and I work for ourselves. We have our own company, so we do a lot of photo shoot for like social media content for people, all sorts of kind of things. As well, we work with like some local companies, who need like photo shoot or video for their company, and we actually do as well tons of weddings, which is a great industry to be in if you're like doing some photo or video. So we do a lot of things, but mainly photo and video, related to photo and video. So that's what we are doing, and that's my main activity, my bread and butter of every day, I would say.
Yeah, awesome. It's I can only assume that your artist background with photography and everything kind of ties into the NFT space because you can appreciate art and everything, just like how you appreciate your photography work.
Yes, 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 definitely, yeah, for sure. I'm very touched by like NFT due to the fact that, I mean, like that's one because like I'm a photographer, so some people will consider me as an artist. I don't consider me as an artist myself, but like I like when people say that I'm an artist. But so maybe that's why like I'm very attached to NFTs, like by myself being a photographer and
Hmm.
videographer.
Yeah, that's awesome. To kind of transfer into kind of the topic at hand today, how did you exactly get started with crypto?
So I got started because like of my brother. My brother was in crypto as well, and he was telling me you need to get into it, and he non-stop bothered me about it for multiple months. And after making my own research, I discovered that was a very interesting world to be part of. And so once I was ready, I basically buy like the two main crypto monies that you can buy, like ETH and Bitcoin. So that's what I bought first, some ETH and some Bitcoin, and that's how I got introduced in the crypto world.
Yeah, awesome. It's a kind of similar. I've interviewed a couple people, and yeah, it seems very similar to how the majority of people first got into the space. Is that either a family member or a friend first tells them to just try it out, maybe learn a bit, and then
And, uh,
they ended up kind of carrying them into a new whole world, if that makes sense.
I know, it totally makes sense. Though, what's crazy actually? So when I was a kid, I mean, like that sounds crazy, but like, did you ever heard like about like the dark net, the dark web?
Yeah. Dark web.
Well,
Yeah.
there was like a website that was called Silk Road. I don't know if you
Hmm.
know Silk
Yeah,
Road.
this will grow. That's like how a lot, or like the main part of the dark web is like famous for being on the
Yes.
dark web.
So when I was a kid, basically like at least like 15 years ago, basically like you were able to basically connect yourself on Silk Road and buy stuff with like crypto money at the time,
Hmm.
and that's crazy because like at the time Bitcoin was like nothing, and like I could have been able to buy some, but like I was thinking like this whole thing was cash and I didn't have any need to buy anything on that website, but like I can't stop thinking about it every time. Like it's so crazy.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy how the crypto space has kind of evolved from people buying illegal stuff on the dark web, and it kind of blossomed into what it is now. And it's really great to see
I
that there's
know,
more use cases than just buying drugs with Bitcoin.
I know, it's crazy. It's really crazy, and the more crazy part about it is like the more it evolves, we hear crazy story from back then. Like this dude who bought like a Domino pizza with like so many bitcoins.
Oh yeah, he bought a pizza for like 10,000 bitcoins. It's just
I
like
know, and like
mind blowing.
I know it's mind blowing. Whoever like cash out on those bitcoins is like rich as hell, and it's like what the fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I feel like, especially like you said, the more and more this space grows, the more and more crazier those stories are going to get, which is it's just mind blowing to think that someone was paid 10,000 bitcoins. But back then, that was only like $25.
I know.
That's wild.
I know.
But you talked about how your kind of brother helped you get into crypto and everything. How has he done in with crypto and everything? Like he obviously seemed like he got in pretty early.
Well, honestly, he has done very well for himself. After like he got in pretty early, but it's not like at the time he didn't like have like thousands of dollars to
Hmm.
actually invest in.
Hmm.
That was actually like the maybe like maybe the wrong of himself. But at the end of the day, it's like you do with what you got. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
he was able to invest what he had, which was like not much at the time, but for now, for what it is, it's great, because like it paid for all his collections that he has now in NFTs,
Hmm.
and he got a beautiful collection in NFTs. And now that's mainly what he does with his life, like crypto and NFTs, and
Wow.
he turns that into something, he turns that nothing into something, and I have a lot of respect for this, and I think this is amazing, and like I'm looking forward for what he's gonna do in the future with this collection, and yeah, it's amazing.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, so I'm really, really happy to see, especially someone tied, or just not even just tied to you, but someone in the space doing well for themselves and supporting themselves via NFTs and everything. That's great to see. But how did you exactly get started with NFTs? Obviously, you explained how you got started with crypto. What was your first kind of NFT experience?
So basically, one night I come back home and I talk to my wife and I tell her the whole speech about NFT, and she seems pretty interested about it. And so we, of course, go directly on OpenSea and we browse through OpenSea looking through NFT. And at some point, we find the artist Fuck Ronder. And so we really like his work, like my wife was following him on Instagram for like few years already. I was liking his work already, like on internet very much. And like looking his work and his NFT like was really matching with what I wanted, And so when we both look at the NFT called Repressed, we were like, damn, we need that NFT, like we knew we were needed this one absolutely. And the most crazy part about it, like when we start going on OpenSea, we were not like, okay, we are going to buy an NFT tonight, and we end up buying the same NFT we saw the same night, and that's crazy about it.
Wow, wow.
Uh,
Um, can you kind of go more in depth of why you decided to sell it the same day you bought it?
Oh no, we didn't sell it. We buy it the same day.
Oh,
No,
sorry,
no, no, no,
sorry.
no, 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 no,
That's
no,
on
no,
me.
no. No,
Okay.
I was saying basically like we went on OpenSea, like for the first time of our life, without having the intention of buying an NFT, and we end up buying it the same day we went.
So, oh, you bought something the first day you signed up.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
okay,
And
sorry. Yeah, I
it was
apologize, and that's on my end.
it was like the first day that I introduced NFT to my wife. It was also the first day that I was like going through like OpenSea,
Wow.
like browsing without even having the intention of buying. I didn't want to buy anything until I
Yeah.
saw this NFT, and this NFT caught my intention, and I don't know why I thought that if I didn't buy it, someone will buy it, and I was
Hmm.
right about it because like right after that I bought it. Few weeks later, I received like tons of offer about it, So
Hmm.
I was really really happy about it.
Yeah. It's kind of admirable to see that you kind of decided to take a deep dive. Your first experience with it, like you kind of had a lot of faith in yourself. Like you kind of YOLO'd it with the crypt with like just buying something the first day you signed up, just because you believe in everything. And even though you didn't think you were gonna buy something the
I
first
know.
day, it's just like it's like wow. I mean, it was obviously a great decision.
So after, I will say I didn't buy like any random NFTs that I saw. Like I select a very specific artist that I knew was already famous and that I knew was already doing good. And for me, it was a great deal. So it was like matching with what I was looking for, even if I was not looking for anything. So that is
Hmm.
funny. But if it was not, if it would not have been like a famous artist or something, like sure and strong and super legit, I don't
Yeah.
think I would have bought my first NFT that night.
Yeah. That makes sense. If you're not, you wouldn't want your first experience with NFTs to be something you really don't understand or don't even know the artist. So yeah, that makes total sense. So you kind of talked about how your first experience with NFTs and everything. What would you say is your current like favorite NFT or NFT collection that you personally own?
Mm, my honestly, it's Clonex from Artifact. So that's my favorite one, I think. It's my favorite one because like I still have it as a vial, and it's still not a clone. I still did not redeem it as a clone. It's still a vial, so I still don't know what type of clone it will be. If it will be a rare one, if it will be not a rare one. You know what I mean? So it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's very special to me. And the most crazy part about it is now So it's a collection of 20,000 like PFP, and there is maybe like 19,200 who are revealed. So that means there is like less than 800 vial who are unrevealed. So we really make part of like a very exclusive like NFT. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
So
Do you mind to go into more depth of like the stuff you've been given because you've held your CloneX?
yes. So because I was holding my CloneX, for example, on Christmas Day, I received what they call the space pod. It's like a little house that you
Mm-hmm.
can hang for your CloneX, and like you can have like you can expose like your NFT in this little house, and it's like kind of like a very cool and futuristic design house. And it's very fun because your friend can come and visit your house, and you can like if you have like for example like those 3D Google VR thing, like
Yeah.
you, you can go and like watch it like this as well. So it's very fun and interactive. So they give us this as an NFT for Christmas, and it was free. This NFT at some point went up to 3 ETH, so that was quite a lot, so
Wow.
something free. And then after, down the road, they gave us another NFT that it's called the Monolith. And this was the first Nike branded NFT in collaboration with Artifact. Because I don't know if you guys know, but Artifact has been bought by Nike. And so basically Nike own Artifact. And so that was their first like NFT to basically revealed. And so they give that to all the CloneX community and holders. And so we got that gifted, and it was for free again. And this one, at some point, the floor were up to 12 ETH. So that was
Oh
a lot
my.
of ETH. And I resell mine for 9.8 ETH. So that's quite a lot, and I was very, very happy because at the time when I resold it, it was like around like $28,000. So
Mm-hmm.
it's great, for something that was giving for free to me. It's a
Yeah.
lot of money.
Yeah. Wow. Good job. Good
Thank
job. I'm really happy to hear that. But you obviously talked about how you have made profit from your NFTs that you own. Like currently in the market that we're recording this, the NFT market and especially the crypto market has seen a bit of a dip. Like, how does it feel to be so heavy into NFTs and crypto and everything while the kind of market is falling?
I mean, obviously, like, because the market is falling, like, you can't stop, like, checking up your phone, like,
Mm-hmm.
looking at notification. Like, there is a stupid, like, Coinbase notification saying, like, hey, the ETH is down 5.2%, or like, oh, the ETH is up, and this and that. So it's like, even if you don't want to pay attention, you pay attention to it. So it's like annoying. After, it's like for me, because like crypto and like NFTs, this is not like what actually like put food on my plate, because I have a job in my daily life. I'm fine, so I'm not really that stressed. But after all, like I see that as like a good moment to make opportunities, and I think this is like actually when the market is down that you can make the best move, because like the ETH is low, so obviously that costs you less that if you were buying so for example, let's say you buy an NFT at 1 ETH, and the ETH is at $4,000, and right now the ETH is at like around $2,200. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, obviously you save like so much money by buying the NFT right now when it's low, So
Yeah. Yeah.
already that you save money this way, and on top of that, it's like because the market is like kind of slow, there is already people who are like putting their NFT like cheaper, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's a great time to buy for those two reasons, I think.
Yeah, if you're on any type of crypto Twitter, you're seeing a lot of people talk about how it's time to quote unquote buy the dip or sweep the floor of NFT collections, because a lot of floors of collections are dropping to their kind of, when you compare them to their all time highs. So if there are, obviously I don't want to give anyone financial advice and make someone make a bad decision, but if there's a collection you've been looking to get into for a while, and I mean it's the same collection whether it's worth 40 ETH or 5 ETH. So if you want to sweep the floor, I mean, it does. It's not looking like a bad decision right now.
I know, it's like you might as well doing it now, because like if you are down to basically my concept is like if you are down to do it when the hype was there, it's like why would you not do it now when there is no hype and it's cheap, It's like it's the same NFT like you say, so you might as well getting it for like the cheapest possible. That's one because it's like for example yesterday I think when we were talking or yeah, I think it was yesterday or before we were talking, I was seeing like the Bored Ape collection. It was at like 88 ETH or like
Yeah.
80 ETH, and then like in the end of afternoon or like yesterday night, it spiked up back to like 100 ETH. So it's like imagine you'll have just cop one at like 80 or 88.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's almost 20 ETH of profit.
Yeah, there's still a lot of money to be made, even though prices are falling.
No, and this is crazy. And of course, like I mean, I'm not gonna say like invest 88 years, don't put your money into all this, but it's like pay attention to the market and you might be able to make a good deal.
Yeah, exactly. Like on that kind of point of seeing a bunch of crypto or people on Twitter talking about buying the dip and sweeping the floors. Obviously, you are big into social media as well as creating YouTube videos. Like, what kind of first made you want to start posting content about crypto and helping people like with the crypto space?
So simply just because there was nothing available online, because it was so early that basically I was lost because my brother told me, okay, get into it. But me, I live in United States, he live in France. There is 9 hours of time zone difference, which is a lot, like I wake up, he almost go to bed. So it's not like he can really explain me how to do it. So I had to figure out things on the go. But I mean, honestly, he was able to help me as much that he can. But there was some times that he was sleeping and I was not able to actually bother him and I was needed answer on the moment. And every time I was going to Google or YouTube, there was almost no information. And I was kind of frustrated. So I was like telling to myself, obviously, I'm not the only one. And because this space is going to grow, I'm not going to be the only one in the future. So we need content and we need them right now. So I gathered the most information that I was able to gather. And I made my first video YouTube. And this is how I get going.
Yeah, wow, that's pretty awesome story to hear. And if anyone in the audience is looking to learn about some NFT collections as well as kind of the basics to NFTs, I would highly recommend you follow NFT Arthur on both his Instagram and his YouTube. He makes amazing content, and he's really, even though he doesn't get a lot, he doesn't have a massive following. Just like the NFT Nation podcast, we don't have a massive following either. We are making really, really good content that is helpful for everyone.
I know, and at the end of the day, I don't believe it's all about the following. It's like really about what you produce, because like I've seen like some people actually in the industry, they have tons of followers, and I truly believe actually some of them are fake. And most of like the content they produce, it's like some contents are gonna be reused and reused over and over and over, and it's not really like helpful or anything, like really informative, I would say. But after all, with some positive note, it's always good to have some content out here. So I'm not gonna talk bad on anyone or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to burn any bridges or anything, even though you might have opinions on certain creators and maybe certain people in the space that aren't doing as good as or not as doing as good for the community as they could be doing. You don't want to talk bad about anyone if you don't really fully know them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's a great way to live. You don't really, especially in this space, you never know who's going to introduce you to a collection or who's going to introduce you to a certain creator. So you really just want to. Obviously, there's people that you can see that like, oh, I shouldn't trust this person, or I'm gonna keep my eye out for him. But it's always a good thing just to talk to someone or just to see someone with a grain of salt and kind of just look at them in a good light whenever it's possible.
I know. I always like try to stay as neutral that I can and keep it low key and see how it goes.
Yeah, and kind of on that same topic of your social media kind of presence, what do you think the future looks like for your content? Obviously, you post a lot of things on Instagram explaining what the basics to NFTs are. Like, are you looking to maybe create some TikToks or move over to more YouTube videos and explanation videos? Like, what's the future look like for you?
Honestly, I really want to continue YouTube's video. I think like there is like a huge potential in YouTube, and we are very early, like in the stage of NFTs, and people are. I mean, like mostly when people are looking information, I know now it's like we're in a big generation of Instagram, but at the end of the day, when they go back home, they go on their computer and they mostly use YouTube. So I really like YouTube. So I definitely want to be like very much oriented on YouTube and like produce more video and content for people to help them navigate through the NFT world. But as well, I'm gonna still keeping doing my Instagram thing, and like doing like some posts and eventually more reels and stuff like this.
Awesome. Yeah, I've seen, especially with the Instagram portion, Instagram Reels are a great way to reach a wide audience because people love going on the Reels and just scrolling, and you never know what's gonna pop up next, and you never know an NFT Arthur Reel might pop up on some people's social medias, and they might start to follow you and learn more about it. So it's a really good option.
I know that's crazy because, like, for example, one time, I mean, when was it? That was like a few months ago. I was in, I don't know if you ever heard about Antelope Canyon. It's like in Arizona. It's like beautiful, and there is like a place that's called Horseshoe Bend, and it's very nice. And I was like making a reel with me watching one of my NFT with the view behind. And in less than 24 hours, the thing got like 20,000 views real quick.
Wow.
It's kind of crazy, like the power of reels.
Yeah, you never really know like how the Instagram or social media like audience will take some content until it really is posted, because you can think you're making something great, or you can think you're making something that is like not so great or kind of sucks, but once you post it, it's like, and things can go quote unquote viral for just a crazy reason. Like, you never know what the algorithm is going to do to your content, and it is really nice to see when you do create a post like that and you get the recognition that of like hard work. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, no, for sure. Honestly, like I've done like multiple reels now. I have like maybe like tens reels that I've done like on my Instagram, and they have like at least a minimum each of them like 3,000 views, and that's crazy because like actually reels actually gets more views than just like regular post, and
Yeah.
they get like much more like how does it called, a buzz easily, and I think it's great to do it. So I definitely encourage people who actually want to grow their social media to do a lot of reels. It's a way to do it, that's for sure.
Yeah, especially and if you make a reel that can kind of get people's attention really quickly, it's perfect, because I mean people's attention spans are about 3 seconds, and if your video isn't either funny or entertaining for the first 3 seconds, they're not going to continue to watch. So it's a
more else.
yeah. To kind of move off of your whole content or anything, what do you think is like, what's your favorite kind of content you've created, whether that be a YouTube video or like, what's the most helpful thing you think you've made?
My most helpful thing I think I've made, was like my YouTube video talking about Nifty Gateway, how to navigate through Nifty Gateway. And I've made some other one as well, like how to use Harible, how to use like OpenSea, like stuff like this. So those have been like A, the most view, and B, the one who actually like help the most people, like I can tell like in the comment section, like people are always commenting like, thank you, it was so helpful, or like, like some positive comments that I'm like, damn, I actually helped someone, like I was not like here physically to help them, but like my video helps them, navigate through and understand something, and I'm like, wow, I did something positive in someone's life, so I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've seen similar to that, where I've had like a DM or like a message on Instagram or Twitter after someone's listened to some of my content, and they've been like, Thank you so much. Like this helped me. Like I was having trouble understanding this topic, and this episode really helped me. So it's a great feeling. It's like it really just makes me, even though I'm like a small creator, it makes you think, okay, I'm doing something. I'm helping people. I'm on the right path.
I know. It's fun because like I was thinking the other day, like we are in 2022. If you're not here to help anyone in the world or help your friends or your family, you don't belong to this world because like literally you're a waste to this world. Honestly,
Exactly.
like now it's all about like community and helping each other. So if you're not there for that, just leave.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of a heartfelt way to kind of end the questions. But before we go, I have three kind of fun questions for you just to move off of crypto and everything. But for the first one, what would you say is your favorite crypto right now?
Mm, I mean, honestly, it's always been ETH. The ETH has always been my like main crypto, and it's like, I mean, like I'm not really huge on like crypto as much as I'm huge on NFTs. Honestly,
Yeah.
like the only type of crypto actually that I have, it's like ETH, Bitcoin. I have a bit of Lux because like
Did you ever think about like getting into Solana and the Solana NFTs, or did you just mainly
uh
stick with ETH?
now honestly I never think about it, and every time like it's not really something that is really in my mind. Every time I tell to myself, oh yeah, if I see a Solana NFT that I really like, eventually, I will convert some ETH to Solana, and like do it real quick. But like, no, it's not really like my main priority, my main like concern of investment. Like I'm more like oriented into like NFTs investment and like stacking some ETH and eventually a bit of Bitcoin. And I get as well. I have like I say some looks rare because the website looks rare because I was able to claim some for free, and so I made like I staked some with them, so I was able like to gain some more. So I still have them with them, so I keep those. I think like there is as well a coin that interests me right now, but I don't own it. It's honestly the ape coin.
Mm-hmm.
I I think it's an interesting coin because it's gonna have some utility in the future, especially right now. Like it's a good moment. I think if like anyone want to buy some, it's a good moment because it's super low. But whenever they're gonna say like, "Hey, you can use the Ape coin in
The
the
the other side, the
in
other
the other
side metaverse.
side," like people, they're all gonna fucking buy this coin, because they're all gonna use the other side.
Yeah,
That's it. So that's a coin I would say it interests me right now at the moment.
yeah, especially on the like the ApeCoin topic. It's kind of, they kind of hinted at maybe creating their own blockchain after the kind of Ethereum got pretty much blocked, or kind of there's a massive traffic jam during the other side mint,
Yes,
like the land mint, and then they hinted at maybe we need like our own blockchain, and it's like, oh, like if ApeCoin does this, like it's gonna be a massive player in the game.
definitely. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. So
Yeah.
definitely something to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm definitely keeping ApeCoin on my watch list. But this is a question that I asked all my podcast guests, no matter who they are, and it is: if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
I think it will be just time travel. Why? Because there's so much you can do in time travel. I mean, A, like I can go back to every single moment I love the most in my life. So that's great. B, I can like decide to know when I can be rich. Like, let's say I want to time travel before Google was made. I can like make it myself.
Yeah,
So I mean, I'm not gonna explain it in detail, but there's plenty of things that can be done with time travel, and I think this is amazing. So I will choose time travel.
yeah. That's definitely a great option, especially if you were the guy to go back in time, and maybe maybe you were the guy that bought a pizza for 10,000 bitcoins. Maybe you'd hold them on a little bit longer than
I think
cash
I
them
would.
out early.
I think I will definitely time travel during like the board ape minting, and I will
Oh
buy
yeah,
like
yeah,
100 of them.
yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I'll buy like 200 of them or 300 of them, as many as I can. I would like go broke for them.
Exactly.
That's all
But
what I will do. That's all what I will do, and after I will become a legend, and that's it.
you'd be known as an NFT Arthur, the goat of Bored Apes. Just
I
like
know,
you would
right?
be the leader.
I know.
uh,
Honestly, I mean, if really time travel existed and like I was the only one, yeah, I would definitely go back during like board ape minting, and I would buy like at least like 1,000 of them, like something huge, like something that
yeah.
I can like control almost the market.
Yeah. But Arthur, I just want to thank you again for coming on the podcast, and obviously some of the audience may be looking to continue to follow you beyond just this podcast. Where can the audience follow you on any of your social medias?
So you guys can follow me on Twitter, Instagram at NFT Arthur, as well on my YouTube channel, as well NFT Arthur. So that's the main social medias that I use. If you guys have any question, do not hesitate to DM me.
Awesome. Yeah. I will definitely have the links to your social medias in this episode description. And I just want to thank everyone for listening. If you learned something today, feel free to share this episode with a friend. Also, leave 5 stars on Spotify. It tells Spotify that even though we are a small podcast, people still enjoy listening to our content. And also, feel free to follow our social medias as well. It is at NFT_Nation_podcast. And even if you have any suggestions for how we can improve the podcast, or maybe even if you want to be a future podcast guest, feel free to message us. But I just want to say thank you guys again for watching or listening today. And Arthur, do you care to say goodbye to everyone in French?
Yes, of course, I don't mind. First of all, I'm gonna also say it in English. Thank you guys for listening me. Thank you also the NFT Nation for having me. It was great talking with you and sharing and exchanging about like the NFT culture. And in French, au revoir tout le monde. Merci beaucoup et à bientôt.
Awesome. Thanks for listening, guys.